Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me here today. Today we're going to be playing the remastered version of Warhammer 40k Space Marine. We actually played this roughly about a year ago, right before the Xbox 360 store got shut down. This is one of the games that I downloaded for $20 and we played through, and I actually have a bit of a retrospective on it. We're going to be playing this here, and I will be putting out my thoughts on it on Friday. I don't generally really see anything changing with the game, aside from maybe some story. I did play a couple of minutes here in the beginning, but we're going to go ahead and start a fresh campaign and get started this way. We are going to play the game on normal. And yeah, let's go ahead and continue on here. In the grim darkness, there is only war. Yeah, surprisingly, the 360 version is still to this day, I would say, a very good game if you could get your hands on it. But now with this out, I don't know if there's really a need for that at all. This is a Sega game. And this is also only $40 remastered. So this is, I would say this is a definite buy. It's a surprisingly, though, narrative light intro, like no voiceovers or anything. There we go.
Captain Titus, the Orcs have massacred the Forge World's forces. And they have taken the planetary defense weapons.
Clever of the damned Orcs. Keeps us off their backs while they loot the Titan war machine.
Brace for evasive maneuvers.
Pilot, report!
Starboard engine is dead, Sergeant. We are losing altitude.
Get the ship to safety. We'll find another way down.
Aye, Captain. Thunderhawk Lancer Jove returning to launch bay.
Now I know the voice actor was different for the second game than this one, but I don't know if this has this remastered version has the same voice for the original actor, or or not, or if they use the
We
new
need to
guy.
get to the surface to take out the gun battery. Or do you want to go home already, Sergeant?
Not before having a word or two with the Orcs.
Is that wise, Captain? The Codex Astartes does not support this action.
Try to keep up.
Yeah, this original game too launched the same year as Gears of War 3 back in 2011. that was like one of the major things when I played this. I was like, you know, why did I miss this? And it's like, oh, it came out the same month as Gears. Hey, Death Trooper, welcome back. They should have added skins for $75. Absolutely. You know what? Why not just round it up, make it 100? You remember, we played this, well, I played through this, I say we had that on stream here roughly about a year ago, right before the 360 store closed. I played this. And this is way smoother than it was before. Controls are different than what I remember, though. Gameplay options. Let's see what we have here. It is running at 60, and it doesn't look like they have any graphic settings or anything, so... You know, I was at one point considering streaming Final Fantasy 16, but man, I forgot. Like, I played a little bit of it off camera. Dude, Final Fantasy 16, it is a cutscene heavy game. Like, I think I played it for 2 hours and maybe only actually played like 30 minutes of gameplay. I have like 90 minutes worth of cutscenes interspersed in between playing and moving your character. At the beginning of that game is really slow. It's a good game though. We're gonna be having a video of that come out. First impressions on that. And my initial first impressions when I saw it was, ooh, like that picture looks softer than what I remember. And I was right. It does run at a lower resolution in quality mode on the Series X, which is strange. Could have played Mind's Eye. You know, I could have. No, that's not. That's it. From what I heard, that doesn't sound like my kind of game. We're sticking with the retro 360. You heard Final Fantasy 16 has a spicy scene. Yeah, it's got a couple of them actually. There's a couple of them. Y to stun and then A to execute. Oh, okay. Mind's Eye has a ring flying to... No way. That's wild. Who would? Man, yeah, I've heard a lot of bad things about that game. If that game wasn't so expensive, or if it was on Game Pass, we'd probably play it just to make fun of it, but there's no way I'm spending money on that. No way. I believe it is Play Anywhere, yeah, so you buy it there and you have it on the PC launcher and you can stream it and play it on the xCloud and all that. I believe it is. I would have to double check, but my first impressions was that it was. I was excited when I saw it came finally. I was like, good, 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 good. That's a game that you buy to support Square, to have them release more games on it. Yeah, I've heard it was pretty buggy. I've seen some clips that are like, whoa, dude, like, whoa. There it is.
Captain Titus, come in. Damned orcs shot me off course. I've had no word from Leandros, but I'm picking up Vox chatter from Imperial Guard forces on the ground.
I scarcely thought anyone would be left alive, much less still fighting.
Heading towards the front lines now.
I will meet you there.
I pre-ordered it for $60 because pre-orders get the deluxe edition for free. Not bad. Yeah, but I forget who it was I was watching. I think maybe Luke Stevens, and he was talking about playing the PlayStation 5 version that was supposed to be PS5 Pro enhanced, and it was still like dropping frames really bad, and just had a lot of issues. We'll see what happens. Sticking with the theme of like the summer of the Xbox 360 here, I figured that this would be okay to play because it is essentially a remastered 360 game.
Access authorized.
Oh, nice.
The
Here we
Emperor
go.
be with you, Space Marine.
I got mission failed because I got to a car and the scripting failed for the AI, of course. It was way too easy to fail on a mission. I failed while going to the waypoint, saying I abandoned the mission. Oh no. That's never good. Yeah, it sounds like they got a lot of work to do. I'm enjoying this so far. The 360 had different. I've never played it on PC. And when I went to go look at it on PC to maybe buy it and cover it there too, it was like, I think like $50. And it was an 11-year-old game, and then they had like a slightly remastered 2018 or 2016 version for PC, and I was just, that was pretty expensive too, and I was just like, I'm not paying that much for that. This is 40, and it runs and looks better than, I'm assuming, either of the versions. The old PC or especially the Xbox. I've got the
Destroy them!
Gears of War Reloaded version for PS5, the disc version, physical version, pre-ordered. I'm hoping it comes with more than just like 35 megabytes on the disc. If it doesn't, honestly, I'm probably gonna end up returning it. But the thought of having Gears of War disc for a physical for PS5 is it's a little enticing. It's a little too hard to pass up. I remember one guy in chat saying it was in the previous stream. Mind's Eye averages under 30 and normal driving on Xbox. Warhammer 40k 60. Digital Foundry did like a light analysis on Final Fantasy 16, and I guess it holds its frame rate in the performance mode more on Xbox than it does on the PS5, but it runs at 720p on the Xbox and 1080 for the PS5 for performance mode. That's just crazy. Because yeah, when I've played the game before, so I skipped a bunch of the cutscenes that were I skipped a bunch of the cutscenes in the beginning of that game when I started playing it for Final Fantasy, and I was switching back and forth between the modes, and I'm like, playing it in performance, I'm like, this looks blurry. Like, I remember I was just like, wow, like why is it so bad?
The Codex Astartes warns against using jump packs.
It wasn't for Digital Foundry. It wasn't a
Days as a novice are behind you.
it wasn't like a dedicated upload. They talked about it on their podcast for about 10 minutes, which honestly they could clip out and make their own, like, you know, their own video, but I think they want to have more of a dedicated video. But they speculated that it wasn't a port of the PS5 but a port of the PC version, and that's why the Xbox was running
Enemy sighted.
Jeez, that's loud. But that they speculated that was why the PS5 version looked softer, and you know, I guess it also had like some rendering issues. There was some shadow and lighting problems that they were talked about. That was an issue with. I guess some of the lighting didn't look like it was being lit right. Oh, they're probably doing one now. Yeah, I would imagine they would. The crazy thing is that guy coming out from Mind's Eye and talking about how he thought that they had
picked up local Imperial Guard
a campaign against them,
under the shadow of that
so that, you know, like a smear campaign, and it's just like, dude. PS5 version is soft. No, the Xbox version is softer. The Xbox version in quality mode runs, I think they said at like 12 something p, and then the PS5 version runs at 1440, and they had said that on the performance mode, the Xbox runs at 720 but is like pretty well locked. But the PS5 version for performance mode runs at 1080p and isn't a locked 60. So I don't know. I would want to play it in performance mode, but man, like 720p is difficult to. That's a hard pill to swallow when you're playing these games, I feel like. Yeah, because while I was playing the Xbox version, I'm looking at it and I'm like, I don't remember this looking like this. Like it, I always thought that the image was sharper in it, and on PlayStation 5 it is. So I don't know.
Rise, Guardsman.
So Square Enix does another bad port 2 years after the hype dies, but Xbox players are forced to buy it. If they don't, it's Xbox players. Yeah, essentially. I assume maybe there'll be patches and everything for it, but
Carry on, Guardsman. We rendezvous with Sedonis, then we find this lieutenant. We need updated intel on the gun battery.
it has like it depends on like what
Head out the upper level and continue through the plaza.
what
The
perks
bunker is beyond
for
that.
each console you want to use. So like quality mode runs at a steady 30 regardless whatever console you play on, but the image is sharper and looks better on the PS5 version. Now, when you play them in performance mode, PS5 runs at 1080p, but also has frame rate
A
drops.
few hundred against a million orcs, and they fight on.
But if you play it on an Xbox in performance mode, it's essentially what they said is a locked 60, but runs at 720. And then there's also some odd lighting issues in the game. So I don't know, man. It makes me a little bit worried for Final Fantasy Remake, that comes out later. I'm definitely buying Final Fantasy VII Remake for the Xbox when that comes out.
Captain, I'm in position at a broken monument near the guard lines.
PS5 did drop to 720 and 60 FPS mode, but outside combat is 1080p. Okay. I'd have to go back and rewatch that. Those were just the cliff notes that I remember them saying for the game. But yeah, I don't know, man. I honestly, like, Xbox does a poor job with their marketing and stuff, because they could literally come out right now and say every mainline Final Fantasy entry is playable on the Xbox. You could play from Final Fantasy 1 all the way through Final Fantasy 16. You know, for Final Fantasy fans, this is the place you want to play Final Fantasy. And a lot of those older games are enhanced on the console. Final Fantasy 9 runs at a higher resolution. Final Fantasy 12 gets FPS boost, and I think it also runs at a higher resolution. Final Fantasy 10 runs at a higher resolution. They're, you know, Series X enhanced.
We have encountered the Orc during our jump to the surface.
That was the Orc ship I saw crash near here, I take it. Did he survive?
If the Horde hasn't turned on itself, it's still under his control.
PS5 had dynamic res and performance mode. Okay, and it dropped into 720p. Yeah, I played Final Fantasy 16 mostly in in the quality mode, just because the frame rate drops for me were too severe when playing on when I first played it on PS5. Nice. Phil/Sarah wants to push users to PC. Yeah. Oh, definitely. See, the thing that kills me, they've got to change. They've got to change this. I've been saying this now for, I feel like, for years. It's time to get rid of the paid online multiplayer requirement. I know a lot of the most popular multiplayer games are free to play anyway. You know, Call of Duty, Fortnite. I would say Halo, but Halo, it's not a popular game. It's time to drop the online requirement. People pay for Game Pass for the gameplay service, you know, like the game services. Like this. I'm subscribed to Game Pass, so I'm playing this through Game Pass. It's time to drop the online multiplayer requirement. It is, especially if you're trying to get the PC players and the Xbox players all on the same page. They don't pay to play multiplayer on PC. You just don't. You don't. Got back here some ammo. I thought there were collectibles back here. Maybe I'm wrong. They're claiming Xbox Play Anywhere makes it just like an act. You know, I'm very, very skeptical of the Xbox or the Xbox Rogue Ally or Xbox Ally, whatever
Target that squid
term is called for it. But I'm very, very skeptical about that. Primarily just because of my experience with using the Xbox app on a PC. It's awful. It's awful. You click on install games, sometimes I personally have to click it like 4 or 5 times before it initiates the download. Sometimes the downloads just fail for no reason. And it's just, they've got to, and I know they said that they were working on a new like OS for it, where they stripped out a lot of Windows requirements, and you can just launch into games, and it makes the device more powerful and everything. That's cool, but I'm just super skeptical. Super skeptical. They've got a lot to prove. I said this on the last stream, but some of the best features on the console are its backwards compatibility. And if you They've got to make it so that you can download those old your Xbox library games and play. Because if it's just whatever's on PC, then it's like, well, you know, I've got over or close to 500 games in my games library, from Series X to 360 to original Xbox to Xbox One, like, and that's my digital library. The Xbox app works pretty well outside of Gears of War, UE. Okay. Yeah, I don't... Maybe my PC is just too old and crusty, or too old and, you know, like no good, but it does not work well on mine. Not at all. I suppose that could be because of how like underpowered it is. But I mean, just using the store, you wouldn't think that would have anything to do with anything, you know? Do I even have grenades? I forget how to throw them.
We thought we were done for. Where is your commander, guardsman?
Inside with the...
Gotta look at the controls, if they show them. Combat controls, here we go. That's just like the fighting stuff.
Door is sealed.
Yeah, I don't know.
I believe they will let us.
There's no reason not to use
Imperial
Steam for
Guard,
non-Xbox.
we are
But yeah, you're
Ultramarines.
right.
Open this door.
I've been considering, and I'm probably honestly gonna. I was thinking about it last night while I was working, and I'm probably gonna be Googling it later after the stream. But I remember, I think it was you that said this to me, Death Trooper, when I talked about Windows expiring soon with the Windows 11 requirements and everything, and you said if I was feeling brave to switch to Linux, and I think I might look into that. I think that was you that said that, but yeah, I'm probably gonna look into that.
Position. Hold the line and stay alive.
Aye, Lieutenant.
Thank the Emperor. Second Lieutenant Mira, 203rd Cadian Regiment.
Captain Titus of the Ultramarines.
You are in command.
I'm all that's left, my lord. Unless my commanders rise from the grave.
He said
So
you
far,
are a
they seem
commander.
content to stay put.
Lieutenant, the scouts have returned to forward base.
How many?
2.
Damn. I sent out 10. That damn gun. We don't have the numbers to make an assault. And as you might have seen, it's shooting down all our support vessels.
That is why we are here. Leave the gun to us.
Come with me then. I should warn you, my lords. We've got a slight orc problem down here.
I've noticed the orcs. It's funny.
Supply post 9, report your situation.
Okay, I'm gonna get back.
Found the source of the explosion, sir. The orcs blew up the fuel dump. Valkyrie 7, report in.
Sorry, I left the live streaming dashboard to look at something. For gaming, I've heard Steam OS or Bazite is the best for normal desktop use. I'm not sure. I just need something that'll an OS that'll run my Steam games and then run OBS.
Access authorized.
Even if it can't run my video editor, I still have a laptop that I could edit videos on. So
What do you know of the Titans?
that would be
on this
alright.
planet?
Only that our troops were sent to guard the Titan Invictus at Manufactorum Ajakis. That was 2 weeks ago, and we've lost contact with them.
We need to reach that Titan.
Your fastest route is across the rail bridge behind the gun complex. It leads directly to the western gates of the Manufactorum.
Get me that field
I saw
gun.
a
Stuck on bloody Forge World and not a
the
single
last time
tech
that we
print in
talked, and I
sight.
was talking about streaming only from my PS5. I'd seen another news article saying that they were expanding the I guess requirements to allow more devices to be able to sign up for extended Windows 10 like support. So I have hope that I'll be able to qualify for that with this PC. So we'll see. Yeah, I know SteamOS is what the Steam Deck uses. For some games, the Steam version is better than the Xbox PC app. That is correct. That was where I kind of discovered that because when I had a Game Pass Ultimate, I tried playing MCC off of the Windows app, and it ran horribly. Like really bad, but then it ran really good on Steam, so it was like, why would I? That was my first initial like introduction to the Windows or to the Microsoft like gaming store, was trying to play the MCC and it running like really bad. So I was just like, why would I ever use this? And then other games too, like you wouldn't think that the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters would require a lot of they wouldn't need like the newest graphics card, or you would assume they could run on pretty basic PCs. And because I own them on Xbox, they also they're available for me to play on the PC app, and those also run really bad on my PC. Another thing that, another really bad experience is the it was that Dragon Quest HD 2D remake that they had recently come out. I tried playing that on PC, and keep in mind, that game runs. It runs okay. It runs a little slower though, but it runs on the Switch, like in a pretty decently playable state. And my computer couldn't run it. So, and that was playing it from the Windows Store. So I don't know.
And the gun battery.
I can't imagine that would, really have that many issues running on Steam, but I'm not buying it again on Steam. A lot of Linux distros are open source and made for weaker systems, and random people are more trustworthy than a big corporation. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it just, anytime I've had to use the Windows gaming store, or that Microsoft gaming store, it's just on PC, it's just never been good. It's never been a good experience. Tried Ninja Gaiden 1 and that ran great on the PC, but Quantum Break was awful. Forza 3
Weapons authorization
had some
confirmed.
questionable performance,
Access
but it was
granted.
playable in handheld mode. Yeah. Stalker Bolter. See how well this works. Gears of War UE also runs kind of bad. It's because of
That's
Windows
where the orcs
updates.
reached the gun battery. We haven't been able to
Yeah,
make it
I'm
inside.
excited for Gears Reloaded at the end of the summer. I just wish it came out sooner.
You have survived this long on your own, Lieutenant. You have done well. But you are no longer alone.
Did you
We will
use the
retake
Windows
the
Store?
gun.
I meant to say the
Get
Xbox
your
app.
reinforcements.
Excuse me, I meant to say the Xbox app. If I said Windows Store, that was my bad. That was my mistake.
We're heading back to the command post, Captain.
Will be turned
Good
away
luck.
from Medicaid facilities in sections 29, 30, 34. Injured workers seek treatment in
There's
sector
that.
46.
Let's roll. What's that? That's a zoom. What in the world? What button lets you throw grenades? What am I not pressing? Leave that there. They really don't have like a controller layout thing. That's weird. Combat controls for the weapons, but Gears of War Reloaded needs to get rid of the pre-rendered cutscenes. I mean, we'll see. I'm sure it'll all look pretty much the same. I mean, what am I not pressing? Like, I've literally pressed every...
To war!
I didn't want to do that. Literally pressed every button. I can't figure out what throws grenades. I must just be stupid.
Orcs on the high ground.
I'm covering them up on the screen. I have them. I'm covering them up. I do have them. It says I have 5. I've literally pressed every button. Literally pressed every button. Let's reload. Oh, almost. There we go. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Let me move my camera. Pick me up. Whoop. Yep. See, there they are. Well, they were there. Yeah, it says I have 5. I don't know. I don't know why it's... Maybe I'm not far enough in the story? You know, like sometimes certain things unlock. I feel like it was B, the B button last time in the previous game. Oh wait, there it is. Wow, I don't know how much I like that. It's the LB button, tapping it. You hold it in and then you can choose different weapons. You tap it and you throw a grenade. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think I like that setup, but I guess it doesn't matter because you can't change it. It'll probably take me a little bit, but I'll get used to it. It'll be alright. And then when I go back and play Space Marine 2, I'm going to be like, what am I doing? I'm not going to know what does what. I've seen quite a few people being upset that this is an Xbox exclusive for a little bit.
The gun fortress.
It is quite an interesting move for them to not put it on PS5. I'm sure it's got to go to PS5. I mean, that's like throwing away free money, honestly. I wonder how much that Game Pass contract is worth, though, for them to actually skip it. DSP Gaming wage quit Mind's Eye and said the business is at risk. Dude, I have never watched more content on him since the casino started their little arc with him where they messed with him. And it's just like, it's so interesting to watch him just to see what he says or does next. And dude, now, obviously I'm not a doctor. I have no medical training. But I did work in my previous job. I worked in home health where I was providing home care for an adult that had developmental disabilities, and he had a lot. I don't necessarily know all the names of what he had. I'm probably not even really allowed to say if I did know how to, exactly what they were. But he was definitely mentally disabled. He needed care 24/7. He needed somebody with him. He was pretty well functioning, he could do things, but I was there essentially at night to make sure that he wore a breathing machine mask, and I was also there to make sure that he didn't rip apart his TV and stuff, because he really liked to take things apart. And since I've worked with him, I've been, I think, what's the word I'm looking for? More sensitive to certain, how I used to look at people or judge people, because it's oh, well, maybe this person has some kind of disability, maybe it's undiagnosed. And again, I'm no doctor, but I am 110% convinced that DSP has some form of autism, undiagnosed autism, maybe the OSD, or the I think it's ASD, autism spectrum disorder. Just based on his speech, the way that he looks, I facial tics, and it's just like his social interactions with people.
Look at these cables.
They must be powering Orc contractions.
He definitely has some undiagnosed disorders. Like, I would say a few. And I mean, that's hard to recognize when you're younger, especially if he's like a higher functioning person with autism. It's just like, I almost feel bad for him. Even though he is, ultimately you are responsible for your own actions. And even the guy that I took care of, even though he was disabled, if he did something that he had been told and knows that, like, don't do this, but he did it anyway, his mother would want him to be, he would have to have, his mother would discipline him in some way. Which I got lucky with the guy that I was working with, where his mom was a nurse and also understood, maybe he's not being truthful with certain things, like lying a lot, And DSP is most certainly, got a certain semi-undiagnosed autism. And it's worrisome because, if it's not diagnosed and he's not, taken care of well, it could end very, tragically. And not to be, and also too, drinking, being an alcoholic, which he clearly is, because a lot of times I think he shows up on streams drunk. Even though he says that he's not drinking, you can tell by the way that he mispronounces words, his issues with, his motor skills. If you ever, when he does that eating, his goals for eating pizza or eating food on camera, you can tell he looks like he's having trouble, physically moving. And that could be a lot to do with having an undiagnosed form of autism. The best thing for him to do, or for him honestly, would be I know he gets people to give him money, and that's how he makes his money, and people give him a lot of money. But the best thing would be for his family or his wife to force him to the doctor, because I guarantee you there's probably some kind of medication he would take or could take that could help him. And he would be, I guarantee you, a completely different person. Another thing, too, that also makes me think that he could be possibly seriously, autistic is, that guy, again, the guy that I took care of had a tablet, a Android tablet, where he played games, and, that WWE Champions game that DSP plays all the time and has spent over $100,000 on. The guy that I took care of, his mom made sure that his tablet wasn't connected to any internet. But he probably had 30 to 40 different versions of those Candy Crush games installed on his phone that he would play, or not his phone, his tablet, that he would play until, you hit that wall or you beat the level, or, initially where you have to pay in order to progress. And when he would hit a wall like that, he would close it and move on to the next game. And yeah, that hearing about his addiction to that is certainly, I'm oh yeah, this is definitely a flag, or not a red flag, but a flag that would be yeah, he's got definitely some kind of disability with that. And DSP Formers mod said the same thing. You should see low tier god, and his narcissism is insane. It's hilarious. I believe it, man. I don't know. It's what is it? NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. DSP definitely has that. He definitely has that for sure. Which those can coexist and cause major problems with people that have autism. So I mean, that's another thing where it's like he is a severe narcissist, and yeah, that's another flag for me. Another red flag. My personal opinion, and then of course this is just my personal opinion when it comes to the whole thing. They used to call him DSP, and he had beef with DSP and got cooked. Really?
That rock delivered the
That's
orcs right
insane.
into the gun fortress.
But no, I mean, anybody that falls in the DSP rabbit hole knows, DSP played Street Fighter. He couldn't win any of the big champions that he was always entering, right? I downloaded that WWE Champions just to see, like, what is this? It's a puzzle fighter, like Candy Crush or Match 3 or whatever, where you match up the things, and then your character does like an attack move, and then you can boost those with cards or gems or whatever the little power-ups in the game are called to do more damage. And of course, you buy stuff like that, you can get better characters, you can get better items to help your character fight in the game and all that stuff. I think that because he lost those tournaments at Street Fighter and he loves fighting games and he loves WWE, he looks at WWE and says, well, he's essentially overcompensating losing the fighting tournaments that he was in by paying to win in the fighting game that is that WWE Champions.
This fortress is swarming with
Did he? Did he win? Because I remember seeing stuff that
Those guardsmen cannot survive that long.
he
We'll find a
only
way
finished 4th,
to destroy
but maybe
the
I'm
gun.
wrong about that. Like, he didn't win major tournaments. He won, like, smaller qualifying ones, right? I think that was the narrative that I remember seeing. Either way, I feel like he makes up for not being great at games by just paying his way.
Space Marine recognized. Access to experimental vengeance launcher granted.
A vengeance launcher.
That sounds promising.
I don't know. Again, the best thing for him would be for his wife and even though his parents are elderly, his parents to intervene in his life. I know that, from what I understand, the police department in his area classifies him as a 220, which is basically like a crazy person. So they could probably get, or at least even maybe his wife can, like the I forget what it's called, power of attorney maybe, or medical attorney, or the medical decision maker thing, where essentially you're deemed like unfit to be able to make your own decisions, and get him off of streaming and get him some help, because he clearly needs it. There were things that I looked up, and a lot of the like mental disorders can get worse with age, and then they can also be exacerbated by drug use and alcohol, which, if the bank leaks are true, he spends hundreds of dollars a month in alcohol. So
Lockdown in effect.
Look here, Captain. Melter charges.
I mean,
Put those in the
he's
right
going to
place,
end up either
and
having
this
a
whole
heart attack or
fortress will
stroke
come down.
on stream
We could put
for
the
as long
charge
as
on
he
one of the
streams and
gun's
as often
shells.
as he streams. There's a good chance of
Leandros
that.
will do the chapter proud.
He finished 4th in another tournament, a bigger one. Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you're talking about.
Releasing safeguards.
I've seen the name, but I don't know. I'm very unfamiliar with, like, what he's actually, like what his problems are and what he's said and done. Anyone that I've seen, like, lightly comment about him has always just been like, if you don't know who he is, be happy and don't look into him. And I'm like, alright, that's good enough for me. If I remember correctly, this game is only like 10 hours long. If I'm remembering. Precision killer. Kill 2 enemies with 1 stalker bolt. Okay, neat. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, I don't know what this control scheme is. Like, it was fine on the 360. This is like having me hold LB and then selecting weapons with the analog stick. When, if I'm remembering correctly, all you had to do was press like up, down, left, and right on the D-pad to switch between these things. They really don't have any way to change. Yeah. That's weird. Hopefully they can add that in, I guess.
Access restricted.
For once, you should judge a book by its cover with it. No, combat controls just talk about the weapons. They give you the fighting combo buttons, essentially.
They're not about to run short of ammunition.
There we go. I will say this, I'm quite surprised at how smooth the frame rate's been. I do remember noticing some dips on the Xbox version, so it's nice to see that this is kind of powering through, holding the 60 FPS line. If it's dipping down for more than that, I'm not noticing. But yeah, also too, I think the last time we spoke last week, Death Trooper, I was talking about possibly getting a CRT TV, and I did end up getting one of them. I actually, when I went over to my grandparents' house, I picked up one of them, and it did not like turn on. could hear it plug in, and you press the button and it would make like that click that you would think where it would turn on, but it wouldn't come on. One of them does though, and I'll have to tell you,
into that loader.
I am shocked. I am absolutely shocked at how good Halo 2 from the original Xbox looks on a CRT TV. It is like, I wish that there was some way that I could stream the quality of the CRT TV to like YouTube, and you guys could like experience it that way.
Place the charge on that
because
shell.
it looks incredible. Like, I remember looking at it and I'm like, how does this look? I don't remember it looking this good. Granted, you can't sit as close to a CRT as you could with a monitor, like a PC monitor. But I mean, sitting about 6 to 8 feet away and playing Halo 2, like, it's just like, I'm blown away. I'm like, wow, this looks incredible.
We cannot rely on luck for this.
Like, if you use even the component cables for that, if you were to plug that into even a smaller TV with the red, white, and yellow plugs, like, it looks blurry and smeary, and like the colors the colors just pop on that monitor or on the CRT. It's insane. Like, I can't believe how good it looks. Is there a way? Going down there. Oh, going this way. Yeah, I made that. I'm probably gonna make more like that. I've been noticing those are actually kind of popular, where people turn on the TV, they turn on the game console or a game, and then they let it like load up to the main menu. Apparently, CRT resolutions adapt better to the screen, and the scan lines help hide. Yeah, that was something I did notice. The jagged edges on that stuff were like non-existent. I also hooked up the GameCube and was playing Zelda on it, and yeah, like, it's incredible looking. Oh, I got him. Nice. Oh, I blew myself up.
Tomorrow, you may be dead.
Apparently, CRT resolutions adapt. Oh, yeah. The motion clarity is unmatched. It is. It really is. Like I said, I was shocked at how good it looks. And you know, it's funny because now growing up, or not growing up, but being older, and learning the difference of like 30 FPS and 60 FPS, which, I mean, honestly, even up until probably like 2016, 2018, like, I didn't really know. Like, I knew the differences, but it was just not, I don't know, not easy to tell. It was very unnoticeable, but like, playing games now, once you notice it or once you see it, you really can't unsee it. And like, I noticed like a lot of GameCube games run at 60 FPS. A lot. Twilight Princess runs at 60 FPS on GameCube. Metroid Prime does too. But yeah, they look really good on those older TVs. And again, I wish there was a way that I could capture that look. I don't know if they have component or composite splitters anymore. Like, that's something that I would have to look up, but yeah, I'm just shocked. Shocked, man. We put the PS2 on it too, and we're going through the different Grand Theft Auto games and looking at that 3 Vice City and San Andreas, and yeah, those looked amazing too. I gotta get a remote though, or find the remote over at my grandparents, because there are like some of the visual settings and stuff that I want to try to fix or tweak a little bit. It doesn't have a menu button on the actual TV, just the power button and the volume. It has a built-in VCR, which I'm afraid to use. I do have old VHS tapes, but I'm afraid to put a VHS in there because I'm afraid it won't come back out, or if it does go in, I'm afraid it'll change the input on the TV, and then I won't be able to get the game input back on. So I haven't messed with it a whole lot yet, but I gotta get a remote for it. Only first-party games ran at 60 on GameCube. COD was not. Go with another trophy or achievement. Blast radius, nice. Yeah, I tested some PS2 games. Like I said, we were playing. We played some of the Grand Theft Auto games. I haven't tried too many more. My wife was playing. There's a PS1 game that she played all the way through that looked really good. It was it's called Blazing Dragons, kind of a like an old adventure style game. I do got to get more. I got to get the God of War games from PS2. I want to play those on that. What were some of the other ones? I still have composite cables for my 360 too, so I might be interested in maybe even plugging in the 360 into that and seeing what that looks like.
Yeah.
But yeah, plus I want to get back to it and play Metal Gear Solid 2. There's just a lot of games that I want to get back to and look at. Just trying to, balance time with other things that I'm doing or need done, or even stuff I want to do for the channel. So maybe I'll test more of them tomorrow. Like I said, though, it's so weird to with all the gaming devices that we have now. You can take screenshots or record stuff, or you can share your experience in some way, and you just playing on a CRT, you just can't do that. If you can, I don't know how. I'm gonna have to check. You said they have the most gain because of interlaced video. Gotta tell you, that GameCube I have, the battery on the board must be good still to this day, because when I plugged it in, it had the correct time, it had the correct date. It's actually funny, which I didn't expect this when we were, because the battery, the CMOS battery on my PS2 is definitely dead, because it requires you to input the time every time you turn it on. The PS2, the clock goes all the way up to 2099. Fury now allows you to enter marksman mode. Time slows down, allowing you to place shots with lethal precision. Left stick, right stick, enter Fury mode, then left trigger for marksman mode. But yeah, it lets you go all the way to 2099, and then when you like, that's as high as the calendar goes, and then when the clock flips back, it goes to 1999 at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. 1999. If I remember correctly, didn't the console launch in 2000? So I don't know what that's about. It seems like a mystery to me. I think the 360 doesn't go past 2025. It does not. It does not. You are correct about that. Am I going the right way? Might not be. But yeah, I certainly also want to test the 360 on it too.
Artillery shell moving into position.
I had the 360 hooked up to one of the monitors, and I was trying to record footage for, like Call of Duty 2, for this little summer 360 project that I've been doing. Oh, I remember this room. And
Put it back. Leandros.
A lot of the frame rates in those older games and their screen tearing, it's actually kind of bad. But I have. Did the PS2 come out late 1999? I thought it came out in 2000. I'm gonna have to look that up. But
incoming fire.
The 360. There's of course I have another. I have an LCD TV that I got from my grandparents' house a long time, about a year or so ago now, I think at this point.
Incoming.
But I hooked the 360 up to it, and then it allows the 360 to go up to what is that? 1366 by 768. It's like in between 720p and 1080, because the TV doesn't do 1080, but I guess it does that resolution.
Enemy sighted.
And man, let me tell you what, that resolution for 360 games on that TV looks really good too. Like, if you put it on a TV that does 1080p or a monitor that does 1080p, it has a lot of jagged edges and stuff. Oop, I'm dead. I remember I died a lot here too on the Xbox version. But yeah, there's a lot of jagged edges on stuff when the Xbox is at 1080p, even on a TV that only does like 1080p. I have a TV that's like that. It's about 32 inches. But it looks smooth, looks nice. It's sharp enough that you can see things without like straining your eyes, but kind of blurry enough so that the jagged edges and everything are all kind of rounded out. If you have the opportunity, I would recommend playing that at 1366 by 768. Even on my 1080p TV, the Xbox One X version of games look blurry with jaggies like Forza Horizon 1. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you got to get the correct monitor for stuff. Technology, dude, the way technology's been is just so weird. It's adaptable to newer things, but then you, like, lose quality.
There's our shell. The orcs have pulled it out of sequence.
Then we put it back. Leandros, get the shell into that loader. I will cover you.
Yeah, and then that's another thing that you can't really share that quality. Was my TV a plasma TV? No, I don't think so.
Incoming fire.
I'm pretty sure the TV that they gave me is just a really old. It was like one of the first LCD TVs that, from like the early 2000s where
incoming.
They're not exact. I mean, they were considered thin or flat TVs back then, but like now they're kind of like, you look at it and it's kind of bulky. I'm pretty sure it's a. like a 2000 and 2004, maybe 2005. TV. Maybe even a little bit older. Actually, I take that back. It's probably like 2008, 2009. They bombed their own guys. That's funny. CRTs, it's impossible to adapt to build for stuff like 768. Should be adaptable, just don't have the priority on it. Fast Fusion. No, I've not been paying too much attention to Switch 2 stuff. I'll be honest, I'm not happy with a lot of the online requirements and the way they're treating things, like, with their consumer, like, standing type stuff with the game key cards and all that. It's just, it's a reality. It's not, nothing's gonna change. It was, I guess, the best-selling console ever. They sold, like, what, 3.5 million from what I read. So, nobody's boycotting anything. I would have bought one. My wife, though, asked me not to spend the money. She wants to save some. So it's like, all right, I get that. There's nothing on it right now, really, that I want to play. Like, aside from the upgraded versions of Zelda, but I could play Zelda. I already own those games anyway, so it's just
In place, Captain.
Agreed. Find an exit.
But I'm gonna start. That was kind of like the next sort of. I don't want to say saga or arc for the channel, but after the summer of 360, I'm gonna start also covering original Switch games. The one thing that I've been doing, obviously, I've played most on Series X and PS5, and I play like the major games on Switch, like Zelda, like Mario. But I've been constantly buying games for the Switch. I have a few that I actually haven't even opened. So before I move on to the next console, I gotta
Captain Titus,
I gotta start playing, beating some of the games that I own now.
Lieutenant?
So
we're gathering our wounded and are heading to the Andres habitation block to establish an outpost. With the cannon down,
we're gonna cover that here on the channel.
Very well. My battle brothers and I must secure any operational Warlord-class Titans before the Orcs can loot them.
Good luck.
No, I did not get Arkham Knight on Switch. I heard that was terrible. Terrible. Plus, I already own it on both the Xbox and the PS5, so I really couldn't justify buying like a really bad version of the game. I heard that it runs though at a locked 30 FPS on the Switch though. Yeah, I know the Switch also too has a lot of enhancements for the original games, but well, I mean, I literally like I have it right here because I have it hooked up to my desk. I literally got the OLED Switch. Oh, that chroma key looks wild on here. But yeah, I got the OLED Switch. That same year, it's the Zelda one. So, I mean, it's not like I've had it for a terribly long time. Games look good on it in handheld mode. I also got the, which I'm probably going to do a video on this too, the Nitro deck, which you slide the Switch into, and it is the best handheld experience for the Switch, hands down. Like, take the Joy-Cons off, don't play with those attached to it. You play with that in there, and it's comfortable. It's got Hall effect sticks and Hall effect triggers and buttons, so nothing's ever going to go bad on it, you know. I got Arkham Knight on PC recently, and at 4K it looks insane. Oh, I bet. Do you think my PC could run that? Because I've seen it pop up on Steam a couple of times before on sale, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it looks really good on the PS5. I think it runs at 1080p. It's 30 FPS, it is what it is on console, but it looks really good on that too. But I don't know. I've contemplated buying it when I've seen it pop up on sale on the PC. But I'm always worried about buying it and, not working. One of the best things about the Switch one is that when people rage and slam it on their desks, the Switch pops out like a toaster. The toaster Switch at 1080p, sure. I don't remember. My GPU is super old. Let me pull it up. I don't know actually if I even remember how to find it. I think it's under what, display settings. Of course, it pops up on the second monitor that's got the game on it. The graphics settings, display settings. God, I don't know how to find this. Let me pull this up. How to find PC specs. That's not going to show me what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's not coming up. We're just going to play this game here. Go to settings and hit about. Settings, system, search, privacy, account, OneDrive. God, I'm so computer illiterate. I really should know this. About. Okay, there it is. Okay, so I have my processor. Ooh, This is old, man. You guys are gonna laugh. My processor is an AMD Ryzen 3 2300X. And my graphics card is a Radeon RX 570. It's pretty old. I bet you didn't think they still made potatoes. Or, yeah, made potatoes this way. So yeah, there we go. Yep, Ryzen 3 2300X and a Radeon 570. I don't know, that's what it says. AMD Ryzen 3 2300X. But yeah, recently I bought Red Dead because it was on sale, I think, for $15. I was just like, yeah, you know what? I kind of want to see if what this will look like, if this will play. Because I figured if an Xbox One can play it, I could at least be able to play it at like a 1080p, 1080p 60 on low settings, and it did not work that well. So I ended up returning it and just, plays at 34K on the Xbox. I'm fine with that.
Did the lieutenant not say these tracks went to the complex housing the Titans?
But technically, I think my PC was designed in 2015, and I'm pretty sure that's when Arkham Knight came out. Your PC should be able to handle it at 1080p, maybe keep textures at normal. Yeah, it's 4GB VRAM. But the PC and the game both came out in the same year, so technically I would think it would be able to run it. Oh, we got some dropped frames. Yeah, this game pretty much, to me, feels exactly the same as it did on the 360, just better graphics, better frame rate. Controls are weird. I don't know why they would feel the need to change them. They tried to modernize them, but I also don't think that Warhammer 2, for Space Marine 2's controls are like this. Got a GTX 1080 that pushes GPU at 4K max, less than 30 in some areas, Batmobile sections. I'm looking at wanting to play it just for a higher frame rate if I could get it at a higher frame rate on my PC. Otherwise, I mean, I could play it at 1080p on the not on the Xbox because that runs it at 900p, but on the PS5 because it'll run at 1080p on that. Ooh. That should be alright now. Yeah, I do see it has some dropped frames. Also avoid some NVIDIA GameWorks settings, especially physics. Oh man. Yeah, I remember when that game came out, people were talking about how bad the PC port was. I guess it was historically a really bad PC port. I guess I could see why, though, they never made this game back compat. I really wish they would, especially, I mean, after I had bought it, I'm like, man, like, why isn't this playable on the Xbox? It's because they were... I mean, I assume a year ago they were probably working on this remaster. Your PC should be able to handle Arkham Knight at 1080p with some minor drops, or 720p. I think the game even lets you go between 10. Oh, well, next time it pops up on sale, I'll give it a shot and see what happens. It's hard to believe that that game came out 10 years ago. Oh yeah, that's another game 10 years ago. Jeez, I think it was 10 years ago. Let me see this. When did Arkham Knight come out? Yeah, June 23rd, 2015. Almost 10 years ago. That's crazy, man. It's hard to believe that that game came out that long ago. And it was essentially Rocksteady's, like, last good game. They haven't made a good game in 10 years. That's insane. Like, if someone would have told you that back then, like, oh yeah, guess what? Like, this is going to be the last good game they make for 10 plus years, you'd be like, what are you, nuts?
Now to stop this ram. Time to impact.
No more than 6 minutes.
Time enough.
I'm not gonna reload the gun. No, I guess I don't have the ammo for it. Conroy and Mark Hamill. Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. So I mean, growing up, I was a huge fan of the 1989 Batman with Michael Keaton. You know, people will ask you today, like, "Oh, who's your Batman?" It's like, "Oh, it's Michael Keaton." But at the same time, it's like, dude, Kevin Conroy did such a great job in Batman the Animated Series. Like, such a good job. I would say he'd be more recognizable as Batman than anybody. That's sad too. They really dropped the ball with that. Like, I didn't play the Kill the Justice League game, but like the thought that was basically kind of I know he was in an animated thing, but one of the last Batman projects for Kevin Conroy was that game, and then they like crapped on it. And then also, I guess too, they had, I guess, a story plan that they were going to bring back the Justice League, and the ones that were killed that you went after and fought were all clones or something like that. And then they had to wrap it up in like a 3 to 4 like comic book slide cutscene. It's just, I can't. It's unbelievable. Like, who? I don't know. I guess I'm at a loss for words. It's just unbelievable. And of course, you know, all the wrong people got in trouble for that. All the people that made the decisions either left and went on to have other studios, and then I know the creators of Rocksteady left, I think, a year before the game shipped. It's just not right. He was in a CWDC show as well. So here, I gotta talk about this for just a hot second. It was during the CW like superhero like era that they had, where they had superhero shows. Just they had the Flash, they had Arrow, they had Batgirl, they had Legends of Tomorrow, they had Superman, Superman and Lois, they had Supergirl. He played Bruce Wayne in one of the universes, because they had like a Crisis on Infinite Earths
Time to impact
type of story that they were doing, where they were traveling to different Earths looking for certain champions.
These trains have point defense turrets.
And
They'll be
in
ahead.
one world they went to, there was
Forward, then.
a Kevin Conroy as an old Batman who was disabled. He had on like an exoskeleton suit, and they turned him into a villain. They wasted that opportunity too. They turned him into a villain. He died. Like, I think he got electrocuted by Batgirl. It just, I'm not, the way they treated his Batman character was just really bad all around. Every opportunity they got, they basically treated him how Luke Skywalker was treated in The Last Jedi. It just wasn't respectable to the character, wasn't appropriate. But you know what? It's nice, when you complain about something at first and everyone's like, oh no, you're just, you're wrong, or, you shouldn't have those opinions, or they call you an ist or a phobe, or, they call you something that is, insulting. And then later on, years later, somehow, like, you get vindicated because, like, oh yeah, you were right. It's like, yeah, I knew I was right. Like with what's going on with The Last of Us. Like, people, I myself, I like the gameplay of the game. The second game, I like, the environments. Everything about the second game is good except the story, in my opinion. And they made the TV show worse. And now people that didn't play the game and watched the show are mad. It's just like, oh yeah, so it wasn't just us chud gamers now, was it? It just seems like it was just a bad story. Imagine that. Prophet, what are you doing? No, certainly not the bad writing. That's not why Dragon Age failed either, remember? Honestly, it's part of the reason why I've kind of started to retreat back into older games that I know I like. Especially with like games like The Outer Worlds 2 now going to be $80. Like, no man, I'm sorry. Like, you might like The Outer Worlds, but I don't know. That's not a game that I see that I'm like, oh yeah, that's an $80 game. No, don't put that down. Why aren't my squad helping me? What is going on here? $80 cyber trash game. What do you mean by that? I'm not sure about that.
Never forget, never forgive.
Oh, now they want to fight. Okay. That's funny. Oh, the next Cyberpunk. I see. Dude, I saw them with their Unreal Engine demo. Dude, there's no way the game's gonna look like that. I don't trust CDPR for anything now. Not a thing. How could you? How could you look at that and go, oh yeah, this is gonna be amazing. Cyberpunk, The Witcher 4 is gonna be incredible. It's like, I'm sure it's gonna be good. Cyberpunk 2, or Cyberpunk eventually was good. But how could you trust anything? Like, why would they even bother showing anything? Like, do they? I don't know, man. It blows my mind. Like those people that thought Halo was going to be at the Xbox Games Showcase. Like, come on, man. What has ever made you think that they were going to show Halo at the thing? Because they had the Project Foundry stuff they showed? With the Halo CE remake stuff? Like, come on now. Like, guys, like, who? I saw people, what was his name? Hidden Xperia and Ubernick and, all the usual suspects for Halo content creation were they were all hyping up Halo at the game showcase. And it's like, guys, like, it's a hard thing to accept. It took me a long time to get there too. But Microsoft does not care about Halo in the way that they used to anymore. They just don't. They really don't. They really don't. And it's sad, and it makes me, makes me wish that they were. But it just, like, how many times are we going to be burned by that? How many times, even though they're not 343 anymore and they're Halo Studios, like, come on now. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just too jaded, but I don't understand a lot of these people's mindset, and which makes me think that they're being disingenuous just for the clicks and money on their channel. Like, that's what that leads me to believe. You gaslight your audience, you gaslight yourselves into thinking that Halo's going to be there or that they're going to show something. Like, dude, Hidden Xperia had a huge seething session on his channel after the thing, and then he basically said that the game showcase was awful. Like, it wasn't great, but it wasn't awful. That's kind of what you get when you focus your YouTube channel all around one game. Or even a platform, which is why I'm, just kind of generally lightly covering all games. Like, I play most stuff on Xbox and play that. I have the Xbox Series X banner. I'm doing the Summer 360, but we're also going to be doing like those Nintendo games that I talked about. I'm going to play. And make content on those too eventually. Most of my Grand Theft Auto 6 content when that comes out is going to be on the PS5. I'll play some on the Series X just to see what it's like, and maybe do even comparisons, but CDPR are paid by NVIDIA to push
Manufactorum still holds.
unoptimized trash, so
Some
they get
Imperial
pushed a lot
Guard
with
units made
advertising.
it here after all.
They cannot
I was
hold
expecting
for
a
long.
PS5 announcement at least
We
for
must
Halo.
hurry.
I mean, I don't know. Possibly. Like, I kind of maybe expected the same thing, but I really just don't expect much from Halo at all. Dude, they're still looking for creative directors for campaign and multiplayer. They had those jobs listed a few months ago. I mean, maybe they're filled in by now, but at the time, they're still looking for people to fill those positions. They're not ready to show the new game. And, like, if they're doing a remake or a remaster of Combat Evolved, like, that's not... I don't know. I don't think it's going to be ready. And though Phil Spencer did hint, he did say that, you know, they were going to have the return of a game that's been with them since the beginning, like a return of a classic. But dude, that could mean anything. Fusion Frenzy, Brute Force, name a classic Xbox or a 360 game. Like, it could be any one of those, and they immediately took it and ran with it. Like, oh, he said we're getting a new Halo game next year. No, he didn't. They should have at least put in new content or something. Hey, is that Jinx or JNX06?
Keep moving.
Are you talking about new content for Halo? Because they do have Halo Infinite does get content updates. Made a video about that earlier today, talking about how they want to charge you $75 for a single helmet from the shop, which they have you launder money through 2 separate means. Let's pull this up here real quick. YouTube Studio. Call of Duty videos doing better than what I thought it would. I don't know what's going on with YouTube Shorts. They've been popping for a little while here. I don't want to turn into a strictly a YouTube Shorts content creator, but man, that might be where I'm headed. Oh, you're talking about for Space Marine. I don't know if they added new content or not. I've been playing through this. We played through this game last year on the Xbox 360. And the multiplayer was unavailable at the time just because I think they might have just shut off the multiplayer servers. But I've been playing this so far, and yeah, this feels exactly the same.
Serve the machine god by joining corpse removal
Looks
crews
pretty
in
much the same, just, you know,
evacuation.
better character models. Like, this is every bit of a remaster, which is good. I mean, the original game is really good. I haven't checked out the multiplayer yet, so I don't know if they would have added new content there or not. I tried to look last year when I re-downloaded it. I don't think they ever had any DLC or anything. I think maybe they had multiplayer DLC, which I'm assuming is included in this. Maybe I shouldn't assume, but... Nice. But yeah, I left, maybe I shouldn't have. But I left some pretty mean comments on some of those YouTube videos that I saw with people being like, oh no, Halo isn't at the game showcase. It's just kind of like, yeah, like, you deserve your misery. That's, you know, what you know, you should know better.
Brace for home charge.
Really, I mean, it makes sense they took out multiplayer because when I finished the game like a month ago, there was 0 people online. Oh, this is a remaster. This is not the original. So I don't know if this has multiplayer or not. It's again, I'm gonna have to maybe check that out here shortly. I'm going for almost 2 hours. It made it really hard to earn levels to actually use the other Space Marines armor DLCs. Okay, yeah, this isn't Space Marine 2. This is the first one, the remastered, or what's it called? Mastercrafted edition. Ah. Yeah, if it does have multiplayer, I hope that it has like a bot mode or something that you could play. I think the original had a horde mode, but I might be misremembering that. Jeez. I'm gonna end up dying if I can't. These guys on my team really are not helping. That works. Am I out of ammo? Oh no, I got ammo. Yeah, I keep forgetting too, I also have like that rage mode or whatever it is.
Do not abandon your workstation.
Whoa. Auto-saved.
Forward! Clear out the orcs.
Jeez, dude, that dude has like a huge reach with that weapon, man. I do not like the way you can change weapons in this. I do not like that at all.
Cannon. Even a single shot will blast right through.
I could have swore on the
We
360
cannot allow that.
you just use the D-pad. I don't know why they would have you hold down the left button or LB to change. I don't like that. They got to put that back on the D. The D-pad does nothing. Might play this game just to get the achievements on Steam. I mean, if you have Game Pass, it's on Game Pass. That's how I'm playing it right now.
Number 2 control deck, do you read?
This is Captain Titus of the Ultramarines. Identify yourself.
This is Corporal Antioch, sir. That is, my lord.
I need access to the Manufactorum, Corporal.
And execute the bigger orcs. Okay,
Directly
I'll keep that
below
in
where you
mind.
drop the cargo, my lord. We can meet you there.
Stand ready. We will be there shortly. Titus out.
Sorry, I'm looking at YouTube stuff on my end here.
guardsmen holding that huge gate. They cannot last long.
I did manage to bring the access bridge down, robbing the orcs of their advantage.
Whoa. Did he just teleport? That's nice. I'm glad my teammate. I'm glad these guys stood directly in my way. I was trying to dodge out of the way. I'm glad that they stood there. Helped out a lot. Now what is this doing? Silly thing. Don't be doing that. Scoot back over here. On PC, you have to spam left clicks, so IDK what button you have to mash when you're clashing with it. Or I think it's A, the A button. And now I'm out of ammo. Nice. Those things remind me of the Gears enemy. There we go. Whoa, where'd he go? That's weird. I don't remember that kind of thing happening. But it has been a year since I played through the 360 version. I wasted those barrels. I shouldn't have done that. Come on, dude. What are you doing? I will say this, though. I really hate those meatballs with dynamics strapped to them. Kills you. Yeah, they do. Yeah, you got to keep an eye out on those, otherwise they can cause quite a problem. Squigs. I will say this much, though. The amount of enemies, I remember for the 360 version that could appear on screen, to me was impressive. Because, yeah, you would get tons of those orcs chasing you. God, I gotta get a health pack? I am living on the shield here, and that's it. I think it works differently in Space Marine 2, but I feel like that ability is broken. Because I remember there were plenty of times when I was trying to do like executions like that, and it would give me the little health plus, the little red plus pop up, but I wouldn't get any of my health back. So I don't know. I'd have to go back and play it. Ooh, I got. Get 100 headshots. Not bad, not bad. It still is weird to me, even playing this a year later, that this game doesn't no option to like slam in the cover like you would with a Gears game. I know they're probably trying to differentiate that. but I don't know. I really feel like the game could have benefited from that. The execution. Oh no, never. Yeah, I feel like the gameplay with this is heavily inspired by Gears. Because you got those executions remind me of well, one, they were kind of remind me of the glory kills from Doom, but they remind me of like when you would catch someone with a chainsaw in Gears. You just chainsaw them, you know.
The lift is this way.
Corporal Antioch, we are in position.
Excellent, Captain. I'm sending the lift up now.
I think this was another area I got stuck on the 360 version.
Granting access. Authorization Astartes Ultra.
Get the power axe. The power axe is sheathed in sparkling power fields, delivers devastating blows. See the combat control screen, pause menu, alright.
Tire horde!
Antioch, hold the lift.
Might check
We have
out Gears
orcs
of War.
inbound.
It's always compared to the first Space Marine game. Oh yeah, Gears of War. They're all really good. You know, some are better than others, but in general, a lot of those games they don't miss. And they've got the Gears of War Reloaded coming up in August. Definitely, if you can, I'd recommend checking that out. Or if you have Game Pass now, you can play all the old Gears games. Definitely worth playing. Gears of War 4 and 5 are a bit different in tone than Gears 1, 2, and 3, but the gameplay loop primarily remains the same. But yeah, it's a game I would definitely recommend. But yeah, the executions are, I would say, more akin to if you played Doom, the Dark, or not just Doom, the Dark Ages, but Doom, the newer ones from 2016. They remind me of those glory kills.
Time for battle is now.
I always forget that I have this ability. Gears is more cover shooter, though. This has you running from, you know, enemy to enemy, like I just was. Gears is more like you gotta take cover, you gotta watch your corners, sneak around to the other side. But they do have weapons and stuff that you can use that when you do get close up, you can, you know, have devastating attacks. It's pretty cool. There's more variety of executions on Space Marine 2. Honestly, I would have to go back and play. I want to say probably about as many of a variety as, you know, the different weapons that you would have. So for each weapon, you probably have a few different ones, but I wouldn't take my word for that just right now, just because, like I said, it's been a while. Oh! Whoa! Dude picked me up and powerbombed me straight into the ground. Alright, I guess we could try that again. Yeah, definitely pick up grenades.
The lift is this way.
I gotta go through that whole section. I see
Antioch,
they didn't improve the
we are in
checkpoints
position.
at all.
Excellent, Captain. I'm sending the lift up now.
Granting access.
We'll save that.
Authorization at Southeast Ultra.
Berserk for
Orcs! An entire horde!
Antioch, hold the lift. We have orcs inbound.
I'll save that for when those guys come down again like that. Whoa. That's certainly a bug. Why I keep getting stuck on my teammates, man. Kind of reminds me of God of War too, swinging around the giant axe. Got to get to that part where I was at last time, and we'll use that. Yeah, it can be a lot to deal with, that's for sure. But all right. Uh-oh. I think we might have made it through. Oh, nice, we got it. Yeah, I know they put health packs in the second game.
Corporal Antioch,
Yes, my lord.
we have word that an Inquisitor...
They
is in
kind of
the
removed the
Manufactorum.
regenerating health for
Yes,
doing
Lord Drogon.
executions.
We have not seen him for several days. Has the Liberation Fleet arrived, my lord?
The fleet is still en route, Corporal. The Ultramarines are here as a
Once you
vanguard.
get to the part with the power
Cripple the enemy
hammer
and
and the
secure the
oh
most
yeah,
valuable asset.
those are some of the
I
most
see.
memorable moments
The
of this
facility
game.
and its titans
Using the
remain
hammer
secure.
and the jump pack,
All I can say for certain is that no orc
smashing
has
down
breached
real
this
fast
gate,
like
my lord.
Contact
Thor
Lieutenant
in
Mira. Her
Avengers
unit
Endgame
is
or
establishing a bastion in
something
Hab
like
Center
that.
Andres, and your support craft now have a viable approach from orbit.
What of the Colonel and his staff?
They did not survive.
Here we are, my lord.
My thanks, Corporal.
Oi! Keep that muzzle clean, guardsman.
Oi. Yeah, that's this. I can't remember how to detonate these. Yeah, a lot of the architecture in the new Doom game reminded me a lot of Warhammer.
Indeed. We must find this Inquisitor and the Titan Invictus.
Are the guardsmen in the lore? Honestly, I don't know. I am very new to the Warhammer universe. My first introduction was playing this on a 360 last year, and then playing Space Marine 2. I tried to listen to some lore videos here on YouTube, but they were like 9 hours long. Like the most comprehensive, like bare bones lore thing that I got was just like the creation of the Marines and like the human enemies and the chaos thing, the chaos dimension discovery.
Titan
like there's a lot that I don't know about this.
Titan Invictus seems unused, you mean? Is this invasion not enough to bring out the War Titans?
It takes hundreds to get a War Titan operational, Sergeant. Without them, it sits idle. Captain, this is an auger.
This Hammer has 30-minute lore videos. They're really good. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, it's cool being on the mechs around them. Really gives you a sense of scale. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. The one lore video I watched, I think, was like the shortest one that I found at the time, and this was this about a year? Yeah, about a year or so ago. Last August, September, I was looking up lore videos, and yeah, they were like the one that I listened to was probably about an hour and 90 minutes long, and it was considered one of the shorter lore videos, I guess. Which is just the lore that I got. It was cool, but it like wild. My favorite ones so far, I mean, really the only ones that I know anything about are the ones that you play as here, the human ones, the Ultramarines. Seem pretty cool. They remind me a lot of kind of like just the basic Space Marine like archetype, you know, that you see across other sci-fi universes like Halo or Doom or Aliens or, you know, anything like that.
Leandros, can you use this panel to contact our other forces?
Not directly, but I can boost Vox range.
Do it.
I mean, outside of that, honestly, I really don't know.
Access authorized.
Don't know much.
Ultramarines chapter.
Heavy infestation at that point via us. Squad readiness making hard, sir.
Here, Captain.
Ultramarines, this is Captain Titus. Are you receiving?
Captain, this is Sergeant Midas. Squad Solinus is on the ground and making for our objective.
New orders, Midas. We are at Manufactorum Ajakis and have located the Titan Invictus. I need Solinus to come secure the Invictus while I divert to a priority alarm.
On our way, Captain. Midas out.
Head out here. Honestly, if I had to exist in the Space Marine universe, it would it would be my understanding it's like the worst possible time to be alive in history is in their current timeline. Just because the insane amount of war and just overall bad quality of life for everybody. I was actually quite thrown off the first time I played this when I saw that I was fighting like a fantasy type of enemy, like an orc. My idea of orcs comes from like classical fantasy stuff, like like Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit or I can't even remember right now. Just like that older type of fantasy RPGs, Final Fantasy, stuff from the 80s, Dungeons and Dragons, stuff like that. Yeah, Space Marine 2 though is really good, cool. I don't know. I don't remember the exact name of the enemies, but they're like dinosaur enemies that you were killing for the first few missions in that game are pretty neat. The way they swarm around.
Inquisitor, Ordo Xenos.
Repeat authorization.
Drogon, prepare the power source for immediate release.
One moment. Repeat authorization.
If I remember correctly, I mean, maybe this is a spoiler, but this guy is part of the reason why everything's gone wrong here.
Inquisitor Drogon?
I am Drogon. And you are?
Captain Titus of the Ultramarines. We received your distress call, but you seem to have weathered the enemy's attack.
It's too bad Henry Cavill's Warhammer project fell through with Amazon. That would have been really cool to see him as Captain Titus.
The power source is running the entire Manufactorum from the generator room.
This device is a fuel source, not a weapon.
It is a complex device and an unstable one. If the Orcs find it, they'll try and take it apart. It could detonate with enough force to destroy the entire planet.
Then we must move it to safety.
And for that, Captain, I need your aid. This way.
You are wounded, Inquisitor Drogon.
I'm a psyker. My psychic abilities are controlling the bleeding.
A psyker. Cool story, bro. Let's get a good look at you here. Is he supposed to look like that?
Xenos life forms detected.
Space Marine! You trying to steal my Titans? Steal my loot? I'll rip your guts right out your throat! The Orc himself! I'm gonna put your head on a spike, Space Marine! Get out of there and
Why aren't they fighting back? This has to be like a bug. Does it come with all the DLC? I would have to look, Death Trooper. I'm not 100% sure. As soon as we get through this little encounter here, I'll go look at the store page, or you know, we'll take a look at the store page. Did they change it? I haven't played this as many times enough to have it memorized whether or not it would be a different color. Let's get around through the store. I think they have red on them too. Okay, let's take a quick look at the store, Death Trooper, and we'll see. Oh, that didn't do the way I wanted it to. Let's go to game card. Let's see, show in store. Let's see what it says in the store here. Warhammer 40k Space Marine returns, enhanced for a new new generation. Enjoy quality of life, graphical improvements that will take Warhammer 40k Space Marine experience to the next level. High fidelity, improved textures, 4K resolution, improved character models, modernized control scheme, plus interface overhaul. Yeah, they gotta do something. They gotta give you more controls, control over your controls. Remastered audio, step into the armor, Relentless Space Marine, Captain Titus, Space Marine, Ultramarines chapter, seasoned veteran, Warhammer 40k Space Marine Mastercraft Edition includes all original Space Marine game and all DLC. So there you go, Death Trooper. There's your answer. It comes with everything. Chaos Unleashed map pack, Dreadnought Assault DLC, Iron Hand Veteran chapter pack, Death Guard Champion chapter pack. I'm assuming this is all for multiplayer. Golden Relic Bolter, Golden Relic Chainsword, Power Sword, Blood Angels Veteran Armor set. Yeah, I'm assuming this is all for the multiplayer. So yeah. Oh, and it supports crossplay, so be able to play on PC, play the people on PC as well. Nope. I suppose we could have looked at this here, huh? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It should come with all DLC.
Damnable creature! Had he not blundered onto this world?
But he did, Drogon.
Drogon. If I'm remembering correctly, Drogon ends up being a problem later, but you need to grind for them all.
Space Marine recognized. Full access granted.
Plasma pistol.
There. We must get to that lift.
Okay, well, let's find our way back up then, I guess, right? Pick up some grenades. Meanwhile, Breath of the Wild 2 on Switch doesn't come with DLC. I know, that's another issue. I mean, honestly though, like, I don't know, the DLC wasn't all that great, if I'm remembering correctly. Like, what I played, it was okay. It was just, like, harder challenges to do. I mean, if that's something that you're into. But it's not like it offered you a, like, new story or anything outside of just, hey, here's more things to do. Go do that. Beat him to death with his shield. That's funny. Okay, I was gonna say, did I get it? Yeah, man, I can't. Oop, just punched the mic. Sorry. I don't know what to do with Nintendo. Dude, like I said, I'm gonna play through a lot of these Switch games that I have, but
How much
I
deeper
can't
does
believe
this facility
Xbox,
go?
a company that's
Manufactorum?
essentially
Far
Microsoft,
deeper.
has
The generator
more
room is
consumer-friendly
actually
practices when it
suspended
comes to game
above a venting
upgrades than
Suspended.
all like
Yes.
PlayStation and
In
Nintendo.
case
Like,
of
how is that
catastrophic
possible?
overload, the whole room
How
can be
how is that
shunted
possible
away
when
into the
Microsoft
depths?
is typically known for being very anti-consumer? That's crazy.
Ah, yes, here we are. Colder than a spaceman's smile in here.
Yes, a byproduct of the device's functioning. Captain Titus, proceed into the main chamber. We need only obtain the power source at the core of the generator. I will initiate decoupling from a control console.
Understood. Brothers, guard the access points.
I have engaged the decoupling sequence, Captain. You must keep the chamber secure until the power source is exposed.
Identity confirmed. Drogon, Ordo Xenos. Warning. Primary containment fixture disengaged.
Wonder how cold
Primary
in
shield
there
is
it
open,
actually
Captain.
is.
Head into the central chamber.
Alarm. Xenos detected.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this guy. It's like a
the
little
war
boss fight.
Space Marine! What are you hiding down here? Whatever it is, I want it! You'll get it, boy!
Hold back the greenskins, Captain. The power source will be free of the generator shortly.
Oh!
Strike true!
We'll use that on this guy. That guy, last time he picked me up and one of those guys like power bombed me, I ended up dying.
Now, head over to the Servitor station and activate it. It will retrieve the power source and get it into its canister.
So where am I going now?
This sparky thing what you want, Space Marine. Then I'll take
Meanwhile, I
it for
think
myself.
you can hear my character down there getting slapped around. Yeah.
Alarm. Severe structural damage.
That damn orc will kill us all. Grab it, Captain. Force the power source into its canister. Quickly!
Oh. Chaos.
Sidonus.
I want to say it
Leandros,
is Death Trooper,
respond.
just whatever
Captain,
the normal difficulty
The
is.
Inquisitor insisted
pretty
you
sure.
could not have survived.
Well, I did, and I have his precious power source.
We set a rendezvous in Hab Center Andris. These tunnels will spit us out there eventually.
Fine. Continue heading toward the Hab Center.
Nope, not that way. I'm pretty sure it is the same.
Space Marine!
What do we got here? Have a power axe. I remember dying in this place a few times too. Toast. I got another one. Angel of Death. Kill 500 enemies. Okay, nice. I don't know why I died here on the original. Weird.
Humans to kill.
Oh, geez. I didn't know that was going to explode. Oh, it's one of those things. Okay. Wonder what engine this is. I'm going to have to look this up. I wonder if this is in Unreal. No, nothing like that. All right. Or maybe this was the area I kept dying in. This is one of these. to war.
Got me sights on him.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
They're gonna die, Space Marine.
Maybe.
Come and get me, Space Marine. Space Marine.
Getting stuck on this crap around the level.
That one's mine. You're asking for it.
Ooh. Yeah, it does look like these guys are wearing black now. If they were red before. Yeah, Death Trooper. That reminds me of Mario running around from enemies doing that. Wah! Wah! Actually, what's on the other side? Anything? Ooh, collectible. Nice. See, Gears of War 3 really had something cool with this, where when those little dudes would come up next to you to explode, you could kick them. I don't think you can kick those things. Come on. Well, we got him either way. Don't necessarily like those little plasma weapons either.
Adeptus Astartes recognized. Ultramarines chapter.
Oh, yes.
Access granted.
Meltagun. Vulcan assault pattern Meltagun fires a scorching plume of molecularly agitated heat at close range. This power comes at the expense of low ammunition stores and long recharge between shots.
Even here, the tech priests honor their machine god.
Woo! That's cool. Just like toast. So this is their version of a shotgun, essentially. Yikes. Yeah, I saw the Black Ops teaser. I don't know. I haven't even finished the campaign for Black Ops 6. I got really turned off when I couldn't play it offline. And that's just the honest truth. I don't know. You know, most of the time, yeah, you know what? We are connected online. I'm connected to the internet 90% of the time now in my life, but there's always that 10% when it's like, well, it's not available, or it's not working right, or you can't connect, or some idiot in your town hit a telephone pole or a light pole and pulled down a bunch of cables, and now your stuff doesn't work. You know, accidents happen, things happen, but that'll be something, a stream we got to go back and do. Go all the way through the Black Ops saga. Maybe even start it over, honestly, because it's been so long since I've played it. I like the actor that they seem to have for the main character. I haven't seen him in anything recently, but I watched. I was a big fan of the TV show Heroes back in the early 2000s, and he was one of the main characters on that. And, yeah, I liked him in the show. I've seen him in other things, shows that I'm not really that interested in. But, so, it's interesting to see him as the main character. Hopefully that dude makes bank from that. And I mean, what better bragging rights do you have to be like, hey, that main character, not only does it look like me, it's actually me. Like, that's like ultimate bragging rights. And you know what? I'm not going to buy it, but I'll play it in Game Pass, just like Microsoft wants. Don Matrick got a lot of backlash for pushing online only, and now most people don't care. I know, dude. It's so wild and weird. I don't understand how people's perception... You know what it is it was essentially like a new market came in behind, like, me. It was my age range of people that when in 2013 when they tried to push the, you know, online always, and I drained slowly. Okay, it was basically like my age range back in 2013 was like, no, we don't want online only. We don't want to be, you know, don't want to be able to not play used games.
Go get 'em, boys.
We don't want to be locked to this online only ecosystem. And then they backed off of it, and then slowly started putting it in. And then the people that kind of came in behind us, the kids that grew up and are adults now, like young adults now, most of them don't care. They're like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, this is how it, you know, this is how it is. We grew up like this. It's crazy. I've been saying it's crazy a lot tonight, but it really is. Just how much things change in a 10-year period. Actually kind of scary. That's why I've said multiple times, like, outside of the Switch, like, Xbox and PlayStation are really gonna have to do some, like, you're gonna have to do something big to get me to want to get their next console. Mason and BO7 or Marshall and Black Ops 6. Black Ops 7. Black Ops 7 is what I was talking about. But yeah, they're gonna have to do something like super, like I'm telling you, if they came out and they were like, hey, PS6 plays PlayStation, the entire PlayStation catalog natively. You put the disc in and it'll just play it. That would be something where I'd be like, I have to have this device. Like that would make me like, I have to have this device. Although I don't think they're going to do that.
To the attack!
And yeah, Xbox, I don't know what Xbox... I really don't know what Xbox could possibly do to make me buy their next console. Like, I am not interested at all in the ROG Ally X. Or the Xbox Ally X, or whatever it's called. Like, it's cool, but you know what? That's probably going to be $800-900. And at that point, like, I might as well just save up another few hundred more dollars and just buy a desktop PC that's going to give me better performance than the handheld. It just, I don't know, man. I don't know what Xbox is going to have to do. They're pushing that Play Anywhere as a big thing because of the of the Ally X.
Any idea of our position?
We should be nearing an access point to the surface. The air smells a bit cleaner.
I've had enough of tunnels. Let's get out of here and find the Inquisitor before the orcs do.
Oh, it's BO7, David Mason, Alex Mason's son, the Black Ops 2 protagonist. Oh, is that who that is? Okay. Dude, it's so crazy. They're just cranking out these Black Ops games because the Modern Warfare franchise kind of lost its luster because of what they did with Modern Warfare 2 and 3. They're going to do the exact same thing with Black Ops if they don't, you know, they don't watch it. Oop. It's a little bit glitchy. Brutal. As many times as I've been shot, you'd think that power core on his back would just explode. We really got Black Ops 7 before GTA 6. We did. Oh, that's funny. That's really funny. We did. Man, I'm super excited for GTA 6. I know I probably should temper my expectations, and I usually try to, but I'm just so excited to play this game, man. Oh yeah, and that's another rumor that I've been hearing is another. They're supposed to re-release Red Dead Redemption 2 this year, possibly, with a PS5 and Series X enhancements, which means maybe some ray tracing and some higher frame rates and resolutions. Which, if that's the case, sign me up. I mean, you've seen with some of the streams I've been going through trying to finish Red Dead. It's like, well, now, like, let's say I spend another, 15 to 20 hours to beat this game, because I feel like that's about how much is left. If I beat it and then they release a next generation version of it, it's like,
this way.
It's like what? It's like I'm not gonna. I'm gonna have to play it again. Is basically what's gonna happen.
could the Orcs hope to gain by slaughtering so many?
So Terra
It's not gonna flop.
demoralize the militia.
I don't think it's gonna flop, dude. It's impossible
This
for it
was
to
no
flop.
strategy of war. For orcs.
I know I
this
shouldn't
was
have
sport.
super high expectations for it, but man, oh man, I can't wait for it to. I can't wait for it to come out. I had been saving so much paid time off this year from my job to play it, and now that I know when it comes out, I'm probably honestly gonna have even more time saved up. I'm in that dilemma with Gears of War UE and Reloaded on the PC. Yeah. I mean, Gears of War, though, that's a 9-hour game. You could essentially play through the campaign pretty quickly. Red Dead Redemption is a 40-hour game? Or more, depending on if, you know, what you decide to do in it.
More of them.
Our plan is unchanged. Get the Inquisitor and the power source off-world.
And there's really
Titus,
not
if they take
there's
over
really
the
not any
Manufactorum,
huge
we will have a
announcements
damnable
outside
time
of
getting
like kind of what we
around.
already know about
We
that's
are
coming out this year.
Ultramarines,
You've got your
Orcs
Call of Duty,
If we had a week, perhaps. But by then the Orcs
And,
would have worked out how to dismantle the Titans.
Space Marine recognized. Granting access.
Laser Cannon. Jeez, I remember this. But yeah, I'm gonna be playing the Gears Ultimate, dude. If they make another physical edition for PS5 like they've been doing, and then they don't put the game on the disc and just make it a download key, like I'm gonna go nuts. You might see me on a video going absolutely bonkers, because like, what's the point? You spend the time, you print, you buy discs, you get a case printed, you get the label made, you get the shorts, the shelf space at the store per, you know, and then you don't put the game on it, you make it a download code. Like, what's the point? Why go through all those steps and spend money for that? Like, it just does not make sense to me. They better, I'm telling you, they better put it on disc. The game's gonna be like, what, probably 60 some gigabytes, I would assume, maybe 80, 100 at most. Put it on a 100 gigabyte Blu-ray disc, Microsoft. Do it. Doing it on insane. Some segments are ridiculous. Yeah, you're definitely right about that. I wouldn't want to play some segments more than once if I didn't have to. That's what I'm hoping they do with Reloaded, is smooth out those sections. Because some parts, like the Krill, when you're driving through with the vehicle at night with the flashlight, when you play that on harder difficulties, sometimes it's just ridiculously hard, and it's kind of randomized from what I remember, with like the pattern and the amount of the krill that would come and fly at you, and you know, they gotta smooth those rough edges out. I'm hoping that's what they do with this Reloaded. My face is gonna turn red like a cartoon. Yeah, my head's just gonna turn into a giant tomato. Let me see if I could pull this up real quick. See if it comes up. There's a cartoon character that I'm thinking. There's one specifically that I'm thinking of that was like a Looney Tunes cartoon character, I think. Oh no, I guess he wasn't a tomato. But yeah, I'll look like I look like the VeggieTales tomato. The part where the guards with the torque bow, yeah, when you're underground, that is, yeah. That part I remember being ridiculously hard, and that also added like a rare little bit of randomization and chance as to whether or not you would get through it. There were, yeah, the first game had a lot of really rough parts. Like, I don't think they maybe completely tested the insane difficulty. Also, too, to clear this up, everybody's heard this story, and it was on one of the bonus DVDs for the original Gears of War. That one Microsoft executive, the lady, I forget her name now, Laura something, who they painted as she was trying to get the chainsaw removed off of the Lancer gun. That, I guess, was like completely misunderstood. Like it was sensationalized. The whole thing with her wanting the gun or the chainsaw off the Lancer gun was when they were doing the E3 demo, it didn't work properly, and according to her, her suggestion was if it doesn't work properly, then just remove it for now. And they made like a huge deal about it in that documentary that they made, like the making of Gears of War. Ah, there he goes. Yeah, General Ram was also his final boss fight was ridiculously hard. That's what I mean. Like, they're actually gonna have to go in and rework some of this stuff, because like people that have played Xbox or, you know, have like a knowledge about Gears that play this game aren't gonna have any issues. But they put this out on the PS5, and it goes to the PlayStation audience that isn't necessarily familiar with the way that like the first game is janky. It's not gonna do very well. Like, it's not gonna do what they want it to, which is essentially they want this Gears of War Reloaded to sell Gears of War E-Day when that comes out, because that's definitely going to PlayStation. Like, I would be for 100% sure that it's going. That's the first you've heard about it. Really? If you look it up, so there was a bonus DVD that came with the first Gears of War. It was the making of. And they were making also a documentary called The Road to E3, where in this documentary, you know, they basically were showing the development of the game, like behind the scenes type of thing. And for years, everybody accused this woman. I'm going to have to Google her name. I'm going to have to Google it. And it's a shame how you Google it, because it's misinformation. But she wanted the Lancer to be removed from the gun if it didn't work for the E3 demo. And in that documentary, the making of thing, they spun it that she wanted it taken off. And that wasn't the case. Lady that wanted the chainsaw removed. Gears. The chainsaw. Laura Fryer. That was her name. She was one of the Microsoft executives or producers for Gears. Here, I'll put the link in chat because it's her video. She has a YouTube channel where she talks about game development. And I feel bad because people harassed this lady for years. Like, once the internet kind of came into its own, you know, and people could connect with others easily, especially in a space like on Twitter, they really harassed this lady. Pin that. Yeah, check that out. I definitely recommend you guys watch it. It's a good it's a good little documentary video that she made talking about it. She has other videos too where she's talked about game development problems, like with Concord and stuff like that. What is going on with these guys? Of course, watch that after the stream. Don't leave the stream to go watch it. Just watch it afterwards. Okay. Looks like we've made it. You were 1. Oh, man. That makes me... Woo! 2006. Oh, so you're 20. Congratulations. Maybe 21. That makes me feel so old. Oh, I am old. I know it. Everyone else does too.
More rocks.
The question is, how many more years before I change the name of the channel to, like, Grandpa Gaming? Oh, man. Oh, 20 this year. Congratulations. Congratulations. My advice is to tell you to enjoy being as young as you are, because one day you're going to turn around and you're going to go, holy shit, I'm almost 40. Trust me, it happens. Also, and just from personal experience, make sure to keep certain aspects of your life protected, if you know what I mean. But yeah, man, 2006, I was 20 in 2006 too, so yeah.
If you are injured, return to your quarters. The machine god will watch over you.
Some ammo? There we go.
Workers of Class 9 and below do not qualify for medical attention.
Ooh! Jeez. My goodness, what? What?
Live for yourself.
Okay then. I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct. Alright, I guess we're gonna use the laser cannon.
Workers of Class 9 and below do not qualify for medical attention.
At least you can shoot through the rails with this. Come on, how many times you gotta shoot this guy? hope you guys can hear it. You shoot it and it's like, no, that's not that guy. What in the world is he? Get him, get him, get him! There we go. Yeah, I caught highlights of his. Yeah, I was just getting ready to say I've seen his highlights of Mario Kart World. Oh man, that's just like, that's golden. That is so funny. I was literally about to say that. Like, oh yeah, I saw his highlights for Mario Kart. You're like, I'm bad at games. I freely admit that, but whew, like that's what makes me think he's like seriously undiagnosed because of stuff like that. Where am I going? You know, it was actually kind of worrying myself because I was looking into behaviors that could be related to autism, and I've started looking at a few things, and I'm like, I do that, and I was like, oh, I do that too. And I looked and I scrolled through a little bit more, and I was like, I do that too. I was like, oh no. I'm like, well, it's like maybe I am too. Who knows? Those goggles, or are those his eyes bulged through there like that? LTG is the same way. He gets bodied in Street Fighter 6 and then says it wouldn't happen. Gets bodied in. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not good. I'm fine with it though, you know. I had my glory days when it came to like competitive games back in Halo 2. I would never say that I am that I was like a pro player, but I was better than the average player. I had, which I'm gonna have to look and see at some point if
Drogan said to me to
there's any way to pull up the old Bungie.net stats, because I had a gamer tag that I played mostly Halo 2 on that I don't have anymore. I don't have access to it. I've tried to get access to it, and Microsoft, like, I don't know, they won't. I don't know the email that it was associated with. I don't know the password that it was associated with. Oh, what'd I get? Bigger kill 25 orc knobs. But yeah, I don't know the password. I don't know the email. I don't know like the number that was on the credit card. Like, I literally know zero information about the account aside from the name. And I played so much Halo 2 with this gamer tag. But anyway, if I'm remembering correctly, I had that account leveled up in Team Slayer in the original Halo 2 on the original Xbox. I had it leveled up to, I want to say, a 44, a level 44 in Halo 2, and I mean, you weren't even born when Halo 2 came out. It was incredibly hard because once you got to those upper levels from like 35 to 50, it was just filled with cheaters. Absolutely filled with cheaters. And you know, it's okay to say that I'm not good anymore. Like, I could let that go. I had my time. It was fun. I enjoyed myself.
Inquisitor Drogan.
And if I want to, you know, shoot enemies or play multiplayer, I'll play Fortnite and, you know, do what I can in there. Maybe some Halo. We'll see how that works out. Maybe some Call of Duty. But, you know, I don't invest in it as much. My favorite part was when he said trolls and stream snipers couldn't beat him in a 1v1 and then just kicked everyone out to join his lobby and said prove his point. I didn't see that. That's funny.
Can your blessed work help us against the orcs?
My research is of the utmost secrecy. The Imperium...
And I'm not good at fighting games. Not even a little bit. If I buy like a Mortal Kombat or like a Tekken, like, you know, to see the story is what I play those for. I just play them on like very easy. Like, it's just, I'm not good at the fighting games. I am, however, going to be getting the Mortal Kombat collection. That I'm super stoked about.
The Psychic Scourge has never been test-fired, Sergeant. If it malfunctions...
That might be a game that I actually try to play in a somewhat competitive way.
We're out of options. We fire the weapon to take our chances.
The Psychic Scourge is at the Calkis facility, my research laboratories. It is a fair distance. We will need transportation.
Captain, we aren't far from the plaza where Lieutenant Mira was headed.
MK1, the original.
Guard rally point.
At one point, I was pretty good at
let's find this Imperial Guard
at Mortal Kombat 3 Ultimate back in the day at the arcade. But I mean, that was for a period of like 2 months. And, you know, once you drop something, you have to keep playing it in order to maintain that skill. And too big of a time passed between when I played it at the arcade than to, I think, when I got it on the PlayStation 1 back in the day, like a long time ago. Too big a time passed in between, and it just, you know, you kind of lose that muscle memory if you don't continuously play or keep up at it. That was also back then when you play those games, like, you didn't have skill-based matchmaking, so when they eventually did go to online before that, I think, I'm trying to think, there was PS2 games you could play, Mortal Kombat games. There was Mortal Kombat, Deadly Alliance, Deception, and Armageddon, if I'm remembering correctly. Those were on the original Xbox as well. Like, that didn't have skill-based matchmaking, so you could play against really good players, really bad players. You know, you had a fun time. Those games were fun to play too. I'd like to see those come back in a collection. Dude, the Mortal Kombat lore is so it's like huge, man. And I've seen recently Mortal Kombat 1 on sale. And I kind of want to get it and play it, but then I'm reminded of how Mortal Kombat 11 was with the microtransactions and the character unlocks and the skin unlocks, and it was a lot of work. And the game files were huge, dude. Like, I really hope that Gears of War game, that remaster, isn't like over 85 or 80 gigabytes. Because there's times where I see a game that I'm like, oh, I'm kind of interested in that. Maybe I'll play it. And then I look at like what size it is, and I just go, nope. Like, nope, not gonna play it. Dude.
Body than corrupt in mind.
Super Smash Bros. Brawl Online on the Wii. Oh, geez. Yeah, Nintendo's online stuff has never been great. Their online servers, so... Dude, even now, just to mention this, and then we'll get back to the game. I tried looking through on the Switch, the first Switch. I tried looking through the eShop. Holy crap. Is the Nintendo eShop it's just broken. It takes forever to load, it takes forever to switch through things, and it's just filled with the most unimaginable AI asset flip slop games that you could possibly ever imagine. It's worse than the PlayStation Network. It's worse than the Xbox Store. It is absolutely horrendous, and Nintendo should be ashamed of themselves for allowing it to get to that state. It's essentially like if you don't know what game you want, like if you're trying to look for something, good luck. It just doesn't work. You have to go in there knowing, like, I want to look for Pokemon, or I want to look for this Zelda game, or this Mario game, or, you know, because otherwise it is just straight up unplayable, unusable, it's a mess. Oh, and also Nintendo taking that Switch 2, the GameCube controller that they made that only works for the GameCube online app. Today at Best Buy, I found it's a third party, it's Power A, and it's a wireless GameCube style controller that has Pro Controller functionality with it as well. And it works across every game. And it was like $25. A while back, I bought the wired version of it to play GameCube games on the Spasm. Breaking out right now. Dolphin Emulator. Yes, there are a lot of those games on the eShop too.
Sergeant, then, Captain.
No, Drogon.
I don't know who's buying them or like what they're doing. They keep putting them on there. They wouldn't make them if they weren't making money. So they're making money from somewhere.
Bastion Primus is that way.
The GameCube controller works in every game, I think, on the Switch 1. The GameCube controller works on every game. I'm talking about for the Switch 2. They made Switch Online for the their, you know, like the online retro consoles, and they also made the Switch controller, like the retro controller, like they made with the NES, the SNES, and the N64. But it only works. They say it, but it's only compatible with the Nintendo GameCube online app, which is another just what are you guys doing, man? Like, if you made it so that controller, if a Nintendo branded controller, GameCube controller, like if they made it work with the standard Switch, hands down it would sell. Oh yeah, the jump pack. But yeah, here, I'll show it right here. It's a Power A brand. Wireless, functions just like a Pro Controller, but with the layout of the GameCube.
Now to knock over some orc nests.
Welcome to Evacuation Center Omega. You will receive rations of water and food. You will be protected from inclement weather.
Oh. Let's take that collectible. They say it's only compatible with GameCube games because compatibility is mixed. Oh, well. Still. My opinion, they should just make it work. Just, what are you doing? Just make it work. Smashed. Yeah, these are some of the coolest sections
Whatever
of this
you're
entire
doing,
game.
Captain, keep at it. The Greenskins are swarming your way, leaving our path open.
Would I get a death from above? No, they're not analog. No, I'm pretty sure they're digital controllers or digital triggers. So I mean that is one, I guess, one negative. They're digital triggers, not analog, but. I don't know. Like I've said, there's a lot of things I hear about the Switch, and I'm like, ooh, like you guys really shouldn't do that. But at the same time, it's like, you know, maybe I'm part of the problem. Like I want to play these GameCube games. I want to play Zelda at 60 4K, you know, in a way that's not going to get me in trouble legally. But I mean, that explains why they really went after the Yuzu emulator. I mean, it's honestly, it's unfortunate, but everything that Nintendo's doing now is a result of something that has caused an issue for them. So you look at the game key cards, right? I fully expect at some point for Nintendo games to just be game key cards. Like, instead of, you know, Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, all those games being on the cartridge, I fully expect them at some point to just be key cards. And the reason for that being is that they had such a problem with piracy with the original Switch, you know what I mean? Like, they don't want their games pirated at all. Ever. And I mean, you could understand why. I'm sympathetic to that. You know, but at the same time, they gotta make it so that, you know, people don't have to pirate their games. As a perfect for instance, man, like, where the hell is Twilight Princess and Zelda Wind Waker HD? Where are those games at? Those games have been rumored for, God, I don't know what, 6 years at this point? Why isn't that out? And a bigger thing is, if they do announce them, they better not just announce them for Switch 2. Who's better be available across the entire, you know, it's like, I don't know, it's just, it's a huge issue.
We owe you our lives. I am an instrument of the
As
Emperor's
I read,
will, Trooper.
it read
Now
as a
indicate
Pro
to me the
controller
nearest concentration
and
of orcs.
non-CG controller supported games, but it doesn't have buttons for the motion support. Right.
Not for long.
Where am I going? It also makes emulating games more difficult, as the ROMs are usually extracted from the game card. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. But yeah, game key cards are like that. They have it set so they've redone their user agreement so that if they detect that you've modified your console, they can just brick it. No questions asked. I mean, I hate to say this, but if people would have just left alone, like if, you know, piracy and all that type of stuff wasn't as I don't want to say widely done, but like, if it was more of a smaller thing like it used to be, I don't know, I don't see Nintendo acting the way they are, or any company, honestly. I always thought that what they would end up doing is having it so that, like, if you want it on release date, guess what? You gotta buy digital. And then maybe a month or two later, you get the physical editions. That's what I expected. I never expected them to go just full out, like, game key card, online only. You know, you've got to download the game. If the game's not out and you get it, then you can get in trouble, you know, if you have the game key card. I remember somehow, I forget what it was, somebody got a copy. They pre-ordered a copy of Advanced Wars, the remake for that, for the Switch. And for some reason, it unlocked on their console on a date where it would have originally launched. but they delayed it because of everything that's going on over on the other side of the world. I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. With certain countries going into other countries, they delayed it because of that. And then the person had it on their console and they could play it, and nobody, like, they like leaked like a screenshot or like a video of them playing it. And then Nintendo just ripped it right out of their console. Like, jeez.
Is the Emperor's currency. Spend it well.
All because the Switch was so weak and easy to emulate. Yeah. Well, Switch 2 is probably not going to be that much different, to be honest, in my opinion. He was expecting them to go to the Xbox One route and basically kill used games. I could have seen that. And their games never go down in price. If you can buy them at a retail store, 10 years from now, you're going to be paying full price unless the retail store breaks whatever that recommended retail price is and sells it for something cheaper, which they're not going to do because in order to keep it in their store, it costs them, you know, a set amount of money. Are you kidding me with that? Switch 2 has it's already been hacked. I did not see that. That's crazy. I mean, there's smart people out there. You can't stop them from doing what they're gonna do. You really can't. Oh. 500 enemies using melee weapons. Nice. Ooh. The Xbox 360 and PS3 emulation was so difficult to emulate until recently, which emulation has advanced so much farther than the 3DS. Oh yeah. Here we go. Finally got an area to go. The Xbox One is the only console that has never been hacked during its lifespan. Huh. I never really knew that. Interesting. Wonder why.
Out of fuel.
Ah. So yeah, Death Trooper, I don't know if you remember this. When I had the hammer equipped, I don't know if you remember, it wouldn't let me use any weapons whatsoever. And then we looked online and it was like a bug where the PC versions had that fixed.
This is Primus Command. Orcs inside the perimeter. Move to secondary defense positions and hold the line.
Welcome to Bastion Primus, Captain. Sergeant Sedonis briefed me about the Inquisitor and his doomsday weapon. He said you require air transport to the Calcus facility.
Your Valkyries are the fastest way to reach it, and we have no time to spare.
Your men are already on board their Valkyrie, and the squadron's ready for liftoff. We'll get you to Calcus with all speed. It's time the Imperial Guard brought the fight to the Orcs.
There was no games to make people want to hack an Xbox One, and homebrew stuff was already allowed with the dev model. Yeah, that could be why. That's funny. That's an excellent
Pilots,
point.
this is Lieutenant Mira.
All right. We've been going now for almost 4 hours. I'm going to go ahead and wrap these things up here with this stream. Thank you guys for joining me. Always a pleasure to see you in here, Death Trooper. And I don't know if he's still in here, but JNX06. Thank you. Thank you for jumping in. I always appreciate people coming in, hanging out. I stream every Wednesday. And for the summer, for the foreseeable summer, every week, we're going to be live streaming a 360 game or a remastered 360 game. And then on Friday or Saturday, I will have an analysis out talking about that. I've got a lot actually to do. We've got that one Halo video that I put out earlier today. And then also I'm going to put my thoughts out on Final Fantasy 16, which, I mean, spoilers, I like Final Fantasy 16, so but there are unfortunately some negative differences with that and the Xbox version. And then of course the video with this. I have picked up some games that were on sale on the Xbox store here. I got Call of Duty 3, which is a game that I don't think I've played before, so we're going to go ahead and eventually cover that as well. But next week, if everything goes to plan, unless something changes or gets announced or shadow dropped, we're going to be playing Perfect Dark Zero, a game that I liked when I played it back in 2005, and going back to it now is a game that I do not like. So we'll talk about that then. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Always appreciate it. Always love seeing people here. At this point, I'm rambling on and on and on and on. Let's see, what do we got here? Outside of Halo 5 and Forza Horizon 2, every game is on PC, or it's or is Kinect. I think it was Security was also pretty good. That probably has something to do with it. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get going. I'd like to see, hopefully see you guys here on Friday. We'll have the video out then, and yeah. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time.